Today's tutorial, we are going to complete this lovely art journal page one step at a time. You can follow the steps, use what you have in your stash, and create a beautiful page too. So let's get started. So I have this border pre-done. I took a napkin and I put it in. And this is the video you can go watch to see 3 different ways to use napkins to build up your stash. I'm going to give you the quick version here. Basically, I took a napkin and I'm water cutting sections of it to make what I was going to use as a border on a page. And so now that is in my stash and it's ready to go. I'm just going to put something on the right-hand side. You could put a printable, a magazine picture, something there, and then play with texture and design. And then I thought, what if I turned it this way and I used the face? Now, this face I got from NINNYSNAPKINS.com, which is where the napkin came from as well. It is on rice paper. Now I'm going to water cut the autumn leaves off of it. This was a collection and they were all autumn leaves. And while I love fall, I don't want every face page that I do to be fall colors. I like these bright colors that I have in this border. So I'm going to turn the bright color border, quote unquote, into a hat or hair for this girl. So here I am removing the rice paper, the autumn leaves, and I'm using a brush with water. Now with rice paper, you need a little bit more water, you need a little bit more time, but you can water cut it just like you do napkins, and they're much more forgiving. So if I do that, she's kind of got this funky hairdo, and I'm kind of loving what I'm seeing. Wasn't exactly where I planned on going, but the things with art journaling is follow where the page leads. So now that I kind of have my focal image and the plan, I am going to gesso the page because I did not do that when I made that, use the napkins to make this border. So I'm using an angle brush to get into the nooks and crannies around it, and then I swap out for just a regular flat brush to get the rest of the gesso on there. And the gesso is just going to prepare the page for whatever mediums that I'm going to throw at it. I decide I want that yellow flower to kind of come out across her forehead, so I just cut it out a little bit. Now I wanted some color in the background, and I thought maybe a light blue. Now instead of using my usual makeup sponges, I'm kind of dry brushing 2 colors here. This one is light blue permanent, and I just have it ever so lightly. So it's kind of streaky as I go across the page. I've never done this before, but for whatever reason, I decided to do it. Just going to tape off the coils so I don't get them full of gunk. And I'm putting it. Then after the light blue permanent, I'm using bright aqua. I'm mixing 2 colors, 2 tones, but there's still some white space in there and it's a little white and airy. You don't know something until you try it, so give that technique a try. I decided I wanted some script, so I am stamping some script with my black archival ink. No need to put it under where the girl's going. I don't want it to come through anyways, but I want a little bit of that pattern in there because the mixed media page is all about layers. Then I refound this swirl stencil in my stash. I was so excited. It used to be a favorite when I started art journaling way back 12 years ago. And somehow it just got filed somewhere and it was lost. So I am just doing white here. That's going to give a very subtle pattern to my very light background already. Going to have those swirls, but I don't want anything too strong. I want the focal image, the flowers, and the girl to really be showing up. I'm just putting something here. Now, I am going one step at a time. I don't know exactly where I'm going to end up with this page and what I'm adding. I'm making decisions as I go, not 5 decisions at once, 1 decision at a time. So I'm putting that girl there, and I don't want the blue to come through the rice paper or any of the stamping. So what I'm doing is I'm turning it upside down and I'm putting a layer of gesso. I'm not globbing it on. Two thinner layers is better. And what this does is it makes the rice paper opaque so whatever's behind it doesn't kind of bleed through onto her face, because I thought that would not be very pleasant. And once I have that, I'm just going to give it a dry with my heat tool. And surprisingly, if you don't really glob it on, it lasts. Then I'm just gluing this down with my fluid, matte, medium, and none of that was behind the face is shining through. So mission accomplished. Now up here, I decided I don't want that space. I want more flowers. Now in that same video where I showed you how to make borders to add to your stash, I made some small scale fodder, and I used that same napkin to do that. So what I'm doing here is just picking out those same flowers, and I'm just going to build up the hat or hair. I don't know. What do you think? Is it a hat? Is it her a wild hairdo? So I'm just going to put those on there. Some of them still need to be fussy cut it, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to glue it down. I could have added some going down the sides of her face, but I opted to do this. I'm thinking it's more of a hat than a hairdo. Now, the face, because it was autumn colors and it looked good with that, it didn't quite go with the bright colored flowers that I had there. So I'm just giving this a wash of white just to kind of tone down the colors, lighten the skin tone a little bit so it's more together with the whole picture that's in my head. I'm just giving it a light wash. Now, when I glued this down, I had put gel medium on, or gel fluid matte medium on top to seal it so it's not wicking out. And then I'm just adding some colors, some pinks, some purples to tie in with the colors in that hat. Now I've got some gaps here, so I grab my Inktense blocks and I'm just colorizing those gaps. It's just going to look like there's flowers in the background without being flowers in the background. And I'm just matching the colors, some of the pinks, the oranges again. Adding some blush to her face and changing the skin tone, adding a little bit of that purple, just tweaking it as I go. Now, Inktense blocks are ink and they are permanent when dry, so one of my most valuable resources. Now I'm going to use some stencil butter in two colors. There is a purple color and a kind of teal color. I want the purple from the hat to kind of come down, and I'm going to blend it with that teal aqua color, and I'm putting it through a stencil. I put both colors on my key card and then I push it through the stencil. I'm going to make kind of a swoop across the page. Stencil putters have this iridescent, pearlized finish that is absolutely beautiful and just really adds to a page. Look at that shimmer and shine. And I love the combination of the purple with the teal. It's just like something magical happens when you mix two of the stencil butter colors. If you don't have stencil butters, you can use modeling paste, you can use gel medium that you put some acrylic paint in. Oh, loving it. So there are the two colors, eggplant and summer sky. Now I grabbed my sentiments. I have them in a binder and I print them out and put them in these page protectors. That allows me to flip through and look for ones that I can either just copy it or I can go on my printer and print it and adjust the sizing. So I'm using the saying, let your heart blossom. And that again is from my Through the Garden Path sentiment pack. That is available as a digital download that you can purchase from NINNYSNAPKINS.com. All my sentiment packs are there. So I'm just going to bubble cut the script word, removing a lot of that white. And you can just cut this down and reshape it however works on your composition. And then I'm just going to glue that down with my fluid matte medium. Now we're getting into the finishing techniques. And I grabbed my Stabilo All pencil and I'm going to do some shading around in and around the face. I'm just adding this. Now you can use the Stabilo All pencil and just smudge it, or you can come back with a water on a brush and activate it and get a darker kind of diffused look. Personal choice, both work. But the Stabilo All pencil is water soluble. It will reactivate if you put water on it afterwards. So you want to save this to the point where you're not putting anything wet on top of it afterwards. And then I'm going to, I grabbed my woodless charcoal pencil to do around, to shade around the page, to edge the page. It's just a little thicker and easier to go, but like the Stabilo All pencil, it will reactivate and smudge if you get it wet. The girl looked like she was missing something, and so I found a flower printable and I'm just gluing that down kind of on her face, adding and building up the focal image, gluing it down. And then I'm just going to colorize the center, picking a color that is in the hat and the leaves. Again, the same, trying to match the green that's in the hat. And then I decided I'm just going to shade, do kind of grayscale shading on the flower. I'm not going to colorize the flower. I like how that looks. The colors in the hat are bright. The flowers in the hat are bright and colorful. And this one's very plain, but it built it up. It just looked like it needed something. So there is the finished page. Love the stencil butters. Love how I made a hat out of a border. Use the girl, lots of different pieces. Lots of fun. Take what you learned here and now go to your creative space and create something wonderful.